Morning Drive.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
I'm cool. Hey, you kids, let's get down. Get funky.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Love listening to you on my way into work. And
All right, we get to the point. We're more worried about breakfast right now, okay?
what plans are delirious?
Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Channel 90.
Get it all over yourself, boys and girls. Here you go.
Now, the Morning Drive with Mike Bagley and Pete Pistone.
Sirius XM, NASCAR Radio, Channel 90, live and on the air for this Monday, January 16th, 2023. Mike Bagley back with you here, live in the worldwide headquarters of the Motor Racing Network in Concord, North Carolina. Pistol Pete Pistones in the Paisan Palace in Chicago. We've got Davey and Sammy in Studio 134, the Beltway Bureau in our nation's capital. We welcome each and every one of you to this Monday morning, and happy day one of the work week to you, Triple P.
Good morning, Bagman. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to one and all. A brand new week on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, and, well, just like we started last Monday, Bagman is down there at MRN, and it's a happy Monday to everybody. Let's hope the rest of the week goes better than it did 1 week ago, pal. Good to have you back.
Son, it is good to be back, and I have been back to Delaware. I'm just back in Charlotte now for a pre-planned visit, but what an odyssey this last week has been. And it just dawned on me when I walked in here this morning, like the last time I was on the air was actually in this very studio. And that's when all hell broke loose after I got off the air last Monday, got back to Delaware last Monday night, last Tuesday morning when I had to make that unfortunate telephone call to Sammy. Bright and early on that Tuesday morning. And what an odyssey this has been, man. This has been, I have not had COVID, but it has been exactly like it, to where basically every symptom except fever and sore throat I've had. Still have it. The voice has come back. Voice got better on Friday. And I've been to urgent care 3 times. I've got so much medicine flying through me. It's ridiculous. But making progress, but still progress yet to be made. But at least I've made enough that I can get back on the air. So here we are.
Well, as I said several times last week, I did not have Bagman missing 4 days last week on my bingo card, but you did. And
I didn't have it on mine
You're
either.
back. And Kelly Crandall did a great job. Kelly was here the whole time. She just filled in for you the rest of the week. So Kelly and I did the shows last week without you. And yeah, you mentioned the voice. I mean, trying to talk, at least we were able to communicate a little bit with you, but it was all basically through text because you said that the pipe seized up. You had zero voice.
Yeah, pipe seized up. And, there are a lot of people that mean well. And I appreciate them checking in on me. I just could not check back in with them. It's like I laid down to – now, I'll tell you this. The naps last week, there were a lot of them, and they were long. Like one nap was about 4.5 hours worth.
Ooh.
Because the fatigue was real. Oh, man. It was like I was laying on the sofa, and I needed water. It's like, water. But I can't get up. I can't go. I'm just stuck. I just couldn't move. But I laid down for one nap one afternoon. I got up to 11 text messages. I'm like, what is on fire? Are you okay? I haven't heard you on the air. What's going on? What's wrong with you? And then that was on top of the, hey, are you going to be good tomorrow because we have to interview X? Nope. Okay. Hey, are you going to be good tomorrow because we have to interview X? No. Okay. And it was just there was a lot of outreach, and I appreciate that. And, man, I just got to the point where I just had to shut it down. I just had to I put my phone on Do Not Disturb for like 2 days. I just did not want to deal with anything or anybody. I didn't go into my office for 4 days. Never even stepped foot, never even turned the light on. Just didn't have anything to do with it. So, but now we're back fully charged and, well, mostly charged and caught up and everything. But, man, listen, there is so much. I've been to urgent care 3 times. Nobody can tell me what this is. Nobody can tell me what this is. I'm like, is it the flu? Is it pneumonia? Is it COVID? Is it RSV? Is it cold? Is it just allergies? What? I don't know.
Yes.
We'll just treat the symptoms.
It's everything.
There's a lot of stuff flying around there. And the crew, I've been sick since New Year's Day. Like, that's when it started. It started towards the tail end of my trip to Florida. Been sick ever since. The crew that has been sick down there as well. They're still sick. It's still going around. It takes forever to get this out of your system. But we're on the backside of it, I feel. But I will tell you this. Yesterday, I flew with a mask on. It's like I'm around a lot of people, and
Yeah, sure.
I'm helping you, but I'm helping me as well. Trying to put a barrier of germs, and my hands are raw from washing them so much. And all the hand gel and all that. But, whew, man, what a journey it's been. But it's so glad and so good to be back in the seat. Good to be back in the seat again with you guys. I missed you guys.
Well, we missed you. It's never good when one of us is out, especially in an extended period like, you were for last week. But then to add to it, literally, that had to have been the busiest week of significant news in NASCAR, Baggy, that I can remember in some time. I mean, and it happened. And it happened when you weren't here. And again, Kelly did a good job. We did a great job here on the channel covering it all. But you missed like one day after another. It was like just giant news that kept coming our way.
So we've been sitting here since we left Phoenix, right? And we're just going through the off season and, just doing our normal thing, wondering when the news was going to happen. Sat here for 2 months, nothing. Let me get sick, and in your text to me, you nailed this. You nailed it, Pete. News avalanche. You let me get sick, and the cork is popped, and let her rip. And that's exactly what happened last week. Yeah. I was amazed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Been sitting here waiting for news all off season, and it comes when I'm, flat on my back.
Yeah, well,
so to speak.
We will whatever position you're in to feel better is up to you. That doesn't matter. Anyway, we might revisit some of that later in the show. It's funny because like this past weekend for me, to your point about you didn't go to the office, I did my Big Ten show in the afternoon Friday, and that was it. Till I came down here this morning and connected to you guys. I wasn't down here all weekend because I didn't have any work to do this weekend. We just kind of hung out, got some things done around the house, had some dinner, watched a movie. We watched The Fabelmans, the Steven Spielberg movie, which won the Best Picture for the Golden Globes. It was okay. That was a little bit long. When I say a movie's long, that tells you that it's not keeping my attention. Because that was only 2 hours and 4 minutes. But we did that. And Shelley's off today. I know a lot of folks are probably off today for Martin Luther King Day. So she's off today. I don't know. We're going to probably do something a little later this afternoon. But we had a nice, quiet, full of football weekend. I'll tell you that for sure.
Speaking of movies, so Friday, I was like, you know what? I've got to get out of the house. I've got to get out of here because I went like...
Cooped up.
I've been like, no, I've not been anywhere except to urgent care and the pharmacy and home. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go see. I saw the previews of the movie Plane. I'm like, let me go see this.
Whoa.
We'll see what's going on.
Hang on. What from the preview made you be like, whoa, I want to go spend my hard-earned SiriusXM and MRN and NBC Sports dollars on this movie? What?
Well, he could have bought the theater with all the money he makes. Come on.
Easy.
Okay, seriously, I'm not even been back 8 minutes yet, and you're starting.
No,
Stop.
my question is, honestly, like, what was it? I mean, do you like, I think Gerard Butler
Can
is
I
a
answer
very...
the question?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. So, Petey, you'll know what I'm talking about. I thought it was like the Denzel movie. Remember the Denzel movie where he
Right.
puts her upside down?
One name, I get it.
No, not like Denzel's not Gerard Butler. Trust me, night and day. Like one acting set of skills is totally different than the other acting set of skills. I'm a big Denzel guy. Anyway, like, you know what? Let me just see what this is about, right? I fly a lot. Hey, what's not to like about a good plane crash? It's like, something that I'm very fearful of and all that. Anyway, to go to the brink and then to come back and see how it ends. So me and Tony Stewart, we go to the Regal Cinema, and I'm like, okay, it starts off, everybody's getting on the plane, and then they bring a prisoner on, and it's, they put him in the back of the plane. There's only 14 people. They're flying from Indonesia to the Philippines or somewhere like that. And they get going, and the airline takes them off through bad weather, and then the plane gets hit by lightning, and they lose all avionics, and they got to put her down. Okay. So they put her down, and they're in the middle of the South China Sea, and they find an island out of the blue, and they put her down, and they happen to put her down on this road, right? Put her down on the road. And then they bring her to a halt. Well, they've landed in an area that is known for lawlessness and bad people and bad things. So this is where the whole thing falls apart. I'll give you an
That's
example.
where it fell apart?
I'll give you an
Worst plot
example
than Con
of
Air.
Take your pick of where it fell apart.
no, listen, this is Con Air compared to this was like 20 Emmy award-winning awards deals compared to this thing.
Oh boy.
So I'll give you an example of how badly executed this movie was. So they take off and they go into the jungle to find the village. They're going to get help, to find a radio, to find a phone, right? They're hiking through the jungles and they finally find this building. They go into this building and they, rig together a phone and they're not sure if the phone call went through. But then when it went time to go, we're going back to the plane. There happened to be a Mazda pickup truck sitting right outside the house that they get in on the road and drive back to the plane. Well, why didn't they take that road to the building to begin with? How do they know where that road goes if they've never taken it before? And how do they know that the truck is going to work? And where did the truck come from? It was things like that were like, well, that's weird. It's like, well, that's dumb. And the movie got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse to the point to where it's like, okay. And listen, I'll give you the full spoiler alert. So anyway, as the pilot, Gerard Butler, is getting on the plane, he's on the phone FaceTiming with his daughter, and they're meeting for New Year's Eve in Hawaii.
Oh, boy.
And she says, now, I hope you'll be here, but I know how airlines work, and you're going to be late. No, we're not going to be late. We're going to be fine. They go through all that stuff, and at the end, they have the phone conversation at the end, and it ends with Gerard Butler telling the daughter, and you're right, I'm going to be late. It's like, seriously? It was awful. It was awful. $14 for that. Come on.
$14? Oh, my
$14.
God.
Yes.
We were going on Saturday night. We thought, to your point, man, you know what? Let's go out. Let's go to a movie. So I looked. Here's what was playing at the local cinema. Plane, no thank you. A Man Called Otto, that Tom Hanks movie. That
I'm
looks
good on
rough.
that. Yeah.
Avatar, The Way of Water, 3 hours and 12 minutes.
It
No,
was
thank you.
it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah, but
For 3 hours
that's
and 12
too long.
minutes?
Look,
a long time.
That is not real quick. That is not a movie. That is an experience. You are going
right.
there for like if you go to the 3D version, the stuff is popping out at you. That's more than just a movie. Anyway, continue.
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. We decided to skip on that one.
It's not bad either.
And then this Megan movie, which is basically a souped-up Chucky, right?
No.
It's like a robot doll that goes berserk. Is
This-
that kind of the idea of this one?
Why is it coming? My question is, why do these movies come out in like January and February?
I don't
They're
know.
always dropping horror movies at this time. It's like the slow time of the year. Anyway, I don't. No, thank you.
So, you know what? Let's order some food and fire up the home theater and watch The Fablemans. That's what happened to us on Saturday based on that menu of movies. Well, I'm glad you saw it, Mike, so we didn't have to. So thank you. You did a public service for all of us here on the Morning
Thank
Drive.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
I found a great documentary on Amazon Prime about the Hartsfield airport, like the hidden life under the airport. I watched
boy.
that. I was watching all that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, you're like the plane guy. What's going on? You got on a plane to come down to Charlotte
Yeah,
yesterday.
I did.
Wasn't that airport like they had to get that airport so they could get the Olympics in whatever 96, 94?
No, that airport.
Yeah, that's been there a while.
So it's been okay. So but I think they had to like revamp. It was a big deal for them though to have like
Delta's
that
poured a lot of money in that place over the years.
That's what I'm saying. That airport's like the thing there, other than like Coca-Cola and stuff like that.
Isn't the
obviously.
Denver airport like the Talladega of airports? Isn't it built on like a sacred burial
okay,
ground?
well, what are you saying? The Talladega of airports.
It's built on a sacred burial ground, I heard.
Oh, you never been to the Denver Airport infield, Mike? Come on, you know what he's talking about.
There is now. I am not
Denver Boulevard.
I am not by any means a conspiracy theorist or anything, but there is like a thing about the Denver airport. There's like a whole Wikipedia article about like the Illuminati will land there and stuff when the world goes to all crazy and stuff. All the rich people go there and like go to the Rockies and stuff. I don't know. There's a large underground tunnel system, the old Denver International Airport, that people think they use to like do their Illuminati deals. I don't know what that means. Wikipedia, I'm telling you, there's a whole Wikipedia
I believe it.
article about it. It's very interesting.
All I remember about Denver is the last time I was there, and it's a long time ago. It was June, and they had to de-ice the plane because it was snowing. Okay, it's like, come on, let me home. Get me
Global
home.
warming,
I
no
remember-
problem. now.
well, one
That
of
was
our
like a long
last
time
times
ago.
there, I had taken Mom with me to the bush race at Pikes Peak.
Oh.
And I remember we did the broadcast in Colorado Springs, actually down in Fountain where the track is. 73 degrees. Come back to the Denver airport that night to fly back the next morning. And when we got back to Denver, like halfway through, it was snowing. Got 4 inches of snow, and it was like in the 20s by the time we got to Denver.
Yeah.
And then we had to de-ice the plane to get home the next day, and it was just this. We all were trapped in the airport bar and restaurant, and that was Mom's first experience with what crew guys and drivers are like in a bar setting.
Oh, boy.
Waiting out a weather delay to fly home.
Yeah,
It was
nice.
quite the. It was me, her, and Dan Hubbard in a Jeep Wagoneer going from Colorado Springs to
Oh, my
Denver
God.
in a snowstorm.
Poor Inez. My
Oh.
goodness.
She got in that weekend. Oh Lord. Oh, the memories. All the
Yes.
memories.
Well, anyway, I guess.
Glad to be back, man.
Yeah, are you back now? Are you good? Are you in the saddle there? It's weird, like I said, because of the oddity is you're in MRN where you were last week. You're not in your own studio, and it's like, where'd that week go? It's the 16th out. Mike's in the same spot he was a week ago.
We almost forgot to connect you this morning.
Nothing's changed.
Last
I'm not kidding.
the last week has been like endless. That last week was so long. The days just were endless. Just
Yeah.
when all you're doing is just laying around and sleeping and just being sick,
worst.
and you're just like, bleh.
It's the worst.
It's going to be back active again. In an airplane and back down here. It's a busy week down here this week.
Got a lot going
Lots
on down
going
in
on
Charlotte
this
this week, and not least of which Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday night there. So
Yes.
that's going to sort of cap off a really busy week down there in Charlotte.
Which you will hear on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio through the Motor Racing Network. Coming up on the big show today, bottom of the hour, we'll have headline check number 1. Coming up at 8:50, we'll have the calendar back for you. You know, a lot of people were like, hey, Baggy, when are you coming back? A lot of people are like, hey, you need to get back. Miss that calendar. Well, it's back today. Nate Ryan's on at 9. We're here until 11. 866-PIT-LANE. That number puts you in touch with us. And you can also tweet us at SiriusXM NASCAR. Hashtag TMD NASCAR.